It was a peaceful Saturday morning at our lake cabin, the kind of quiet that makes you forget the chaos of the world. I was unpacking supplies for the weekend while my wife Claire brewed coffee in the tiny kitchen. Our property was completely outside the HOA's reach, but apparently that didn't stop them from feeling entitled to enforce their rules. The first sign of trouble came with the crunch of tires on the gravel driveway. I peeked out the window and saw two men in dark clothing approaching our cabin with an urgency that made my stomach tighten. They weren't there to admire the view, they were there to intimidate it. One of them had a clipboard with my name scribbled on it, and the other was holding what looked like a taser. Before I could even call out a warning, Claire stepped out behind me, calm as ever. She didn't panic, not even a twitch. That's because Claire is not just my wife. She's an FBI agent, active duty, and trained for situations like this. The two thugs froze when they noticed the cold, calculating gaze in her eyes. "Step back," she said, her voice steady and authoritative. "You're trespassing. I suggest you leave before things get unpleasant." They laughed nervously, thinking they could intimidate her with their fake bravado. That was their first mistake. Claire subtly reached for a device tucked in her waistband, something she clearly didn't need to use because her presence alone was enough to make them rethink their plan. "What do you think you're doing here?" she asked, her tone now sharper. "This is private property. You don't have permission to enter, and I can make sure you never walk away quietly if you try anything." The thugs glanced at each other, realizing this wasn't going to be an easy payday or intimidation stunt. Within seconds, they backed off, mumbling excuses, and scurried back to their vehicle. As the tires faded down the dirt road, Claire turned to me, smirking. "I told you," she said, pouring her coffee. "No HOA, no matter how entitled, is getting anywhere near me." That day, I realized that living outside the HOA wasn't just about avoiding fees or rules, it was about freedom. And with Claire by my side, even the most aggressive HOA couldn't threaten our peace. * for more interesting and heart-touching stories. Hit the subscribe button now.